Imagine waking up tomorrow to news that California's gone, poof, swallowed by the Pacific Ocean. Sounds like something out of a blockbuster movie, right? That image of crumbling cities and waves crashing over Hollywood has haunted people for decades. But is it true? Could the Golden State really vanish into the sea? Today, we're diving into the truth behind this wild idea, unpacking the science, the myths, and the real dangers that keep this story alive. Stick around, because what you'll learn might flip everything you thought you knew upside down. Let's start with the myth that just won't quit. You've probably heard it before. A massive earthquake hits, the ground splits, and California slides into the ocean like a scene from a Dwayne Johnson flick. Movies like San Andreas paint this picture of freeways collapsing and entire cities sinking into the deep blue. It's not just Hollywood, though. Back in the 1960s, a book called The Last Days of the Late Great State of California by Kurt Gentry sent chills down spines with its tale of a 9.0 magnitude quake sending coastal cities to the ocean floor. People ate it up, imagining Los Angeles and San Francisco vanishing under waves. Even Mama Cass Elliott's 1968 song California Earthquake fed the fear, with lyrics about fault lines and Sunset Boulevard falling. Picture it, families in the high desert, kids in school, all whispering about the day, April 4, 1969, 4 p.m., when California was supposed to sink. Some even packed up and left, terrified. But here's the kicker, it never happened. So where did this idea come from? Let's dig deeper. The San Andreas Fault is the heart of this story, but it's not what you might think. This isn't some bottomless chasm waiting to swallow the state. It's a massive 800-mile scar stretching from the Salton Sea in the south to Cape Mendocino in the north. It's where two giant pieces of Earth's crust, the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate, grind past each other. Think of it like two trains on parallel tracks, sliding sideways, not crashing head-on. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, these plates move about 46 millimeters a year, about as fast as your fingernails grow. When they snag and then slip, you get earthquakes. But here's the thing, this sideways motion, called a strike-slip fault, can't make California drop into the ocean. There's no giant hole out there for it to fall into. So if the ground isn't collapsing, what's really going on? Let's find out. Here's where it gets wild. California isn't sinking, it's sliding north. Yeah, you heard that right. The Pacific Plate, which carries most of coastal California, is creeping northwest relative to the North American Plate. Picture Los Angeles slowly inching toward San Francisco, like a car in the world's slowest traffic jam. Scientists like Christopher Scotese, a geoscientist, predict that in millions of years Louisiana could end up as San Francisco's neighbor. Not underwater, not gone, just relocated. It's mind-bending to think about, right? Cities drifting like ships on a geological sea. But this movement is slow, taking millions of years to make a difference. So if California's not falling, why do we keep hearing about the big one? Let's talk about that next. The big one. It's the phrase that sends shivers down every Californian's spine. Seismologists have been warning for years that a massive earthquake, 8.0 or higher on the Richter scale, could hit the San Andreas Fault any day. The 1906 San Francisco earthquake, which shifted the ground nearly 20 feet in seconds, is a reminder of what's possible. It leveled buildings, sparked fires, and changed the city forever. A modern big one could cause billions in damage, topple infrastructure, and claim lives. But here's what it won't do. It won't send California plunging into the Pacific. The plates will slip sideways, maybe a few feet, maybe more, but there's no mechanism for the state to break off or sink. The fear is real, but the sinking part? Pure fiction. So, if earthquakes aren't the culprit, could the ocean itself be the real threat? Let's explore that. Now here's where things get really interesting. While California won't fall into the ocean is creeping closer. Climate change is driving sea levels higher, and it's no small deal. NASA and NOAA predict that by 2050, California's coast could see sea levels rise 6 to 14.5 inches compared to 2000 levels. By 2100, it could be 3 to 6 feet. Imagine San Francisco's airport underwater, or neighborhoods in Oakland and Newport Beach flooded. Low-lying areas like the San Francisco Bay are especially vulnerable, with places like Corte Madera and San Rafael facing permanent flooding. It's not just waves, rising seas erode cliffs, wash away beaches, and threaten homes. In 2019, the Los Angeles Times reported that $150 billion in property could be at risk by 2100, dwarfing the damage of any earthquake. This isn't a myth, it's a slow-moving disaster. But there's more. Some parts of California are actually sinking. Let's unpack that next. Believe it or not, parts of California are dropping. But it's not because of earthquakes. It's called subsidence. And it's happening in places like the San Francisco Bay Area and the Palos Verdes Peninsula. A 2025 NASA study found that areas like San Rafael and Foster City are sinking up to 0.4 inches a year due to sediment compaction and groundwater withdrawal. In Palos Verdes, landslides accelerated by heavy rains in 2023 and 2024 are pushing land toward the ocean at a startling 4 inches a week. Picture cliffs crumbling, homes teetering, and roads cracking as the ground shifts. It's dramatic, and it fuels the myth that California's slipping away. But this isn't the state falling into the sea, it's localized erosion and human activity making the land less stable. So why does this sinking story keep haunting us? Let's look at the roots of the myth. This idea that California could vanish isn't just a modern fear, it's been around for decades, fed by books, songs, and now social media. Back in 1969, rumors spread so fast that Caltech's Dr. Charles Richter had to issue a statement debunking the sinking myth. Fast forward to 2024, and X-posts are buzzing with speculation about coastal landslides and earthquakes signaling the end. One viral post claimed Palos Verdes' sliding cliffs meant California was breaking off, but scientists quickly shut that down. The fear keeps coming back because it's compelling. Who doesn't get a chill imagining their city swallowed by waves? Add in movies, news reports of rising seas, and real events like the 2019 Ridgecrest quakes, and it's easy to see why the myth persists. Have you ever felt that gut punch fear of a big quake? It's human to worry, but the truth is wilder than fiction. So what can we do about the real risks? Let's wrap this up. California won't fall into the ocean. Not tomorrow, not in a million years. The San Andreas Fault is sliding, not sinking, and while earthquakes like the big one could shake the state hard, they won't send it underwater. The real threat is closer to home: rising seas, eroding cliffs, and sinking land from human activity. Communities are fighting back. San Francisco's building bigger seawalls, and places like Balboa Island are raising barriers. But it's a race against time. By 2100, entire beaches could vanish, and billions in property could be at risk. So, here's the big question. How will California adapt to a changing coast? Drop your thoughts in the comments. What scares you most about this, and what do you think we should do? Hit that subscribe button for more myth busting, because there's always another wild story to unpack.